Greetings folks, Conversator here, and this video is a highlight of two games, Ingress and Delta T. I won't go in the actual storyline of each of those games as that's not necessary, and that's not why I'm doing this video. My intention is to highlight how each game is played so you can know the difference. Now, both games are somewhat similar to each other, yes. They're both known as augmented reality and geolocation game. You have to go from point A to point B to accomplish things. So now let's take a more in-depth look at each of those games. Ingress focuses on physically going from one location to another for purposes of attacking, capturing, or linking Portal A to Portal B. Majority of these portals are submitted by players and are pretty much permanent, with only a small possibility of having it removed through a review process. These portals are attacked using in-game weapons. They're captured using in-game items known as resonators. The weapons themselves are omnidirectional, with a choice of long range and low damage or short range and high damage. These weapons are known as XMP bursters and Ultra Strike respectively. The tactical point of the gameplay is to link three portals together to form a triangle. Once the triangle is formed, it creates what's known as a control field. The worth of that control field is measured in mind units, and it depends on the population density of the area that the triangle covers. Delta T is somewhat different from Ingress. The main focus is on building a base, powering it using cores, and feeding the excess energy into a cluster. The base is placed by you, the player. It can be placed pretty much anywhere within few exceptions, such as being too close to another base or to another core. The cores in Delta T are similar to what the portals are in Ingress. Majority of them are automatically generated using Google or whatever other mapping software that the company uses. The major difference from Ingress's portals is that some cores can be placed down by players. That is done by using what's known as a core seed item that's provided in the in-game inventory. Those items are provided to you when you first create an account and can additionally be purchased using real money via a microtransaction scheme that is very familiar to anybody in the mobile marketplace. The cores can be attacked and captured using in-game weapons. Additionally, cores can be picked up and moved to another location utilizing a special item. The items are supplied to you when you first create an account and also can be additionally purchased using microtransactions. Attacks themselves take place using three types of weapons: a direct damage weapon, an omnidirectional weapon, and a weapon that only attacks mods installed on the structures. The tactical goal of the game is to provide as much power to your base as possible by capturing cores and linking them back to your base. And now let's talk about these games on a strategic level. In Ingress, your strategic goal is to win a scoring cycle. This is done by covering an area under a field and keeping that field up past a checkpoint, which happens every 5 hours. Every 175 hours, the score is tallied and a winning team is documented. To achieve this potentially involves participating in elaborate operations with other players in your area or players from all around the world, depending on the scale of operation that's being conducted. Delta T goal revolves around cluster battles amongst 4 teams. A player joins a cluster by linking their own base to another one, thus feeding excess power from their base to the network. A battle is then initiated by anyone in that cluster by utilizing a mod called an X-Cell. Simply put, a battle lasts 48 hours and the winner is the one with the most power on their network. The same concept applies when defending an attack from an opponent team. Upon victory, the score is fed to a global battle scoreboard, and every Friday the winning team is announced. In addition to a cluster battle that happens remotely, a player can walk up to an enemy core or an enemy base and attack it directly using in-game weapons. The effect of such attack reduces the power to the cluster and thereby lowers the chance of that team's victory. Now let's talk about the community of both Delta T and Ingress. Community interaction is integral to both games. They both have a simple built-in chat system within the app itself, but most of the communication happens using various platforms such as Telegram, Google Hangouts, Slack, and so on. And of course, there is a subreddit for both games. In my experience, both communities are very good, helpful, and are open to newcomers. Unfortunately, there is some level of toxicity that exists in both games. However, same can be said about any social platform game in the world. The developers of both games are not very active when it comes to their dev blogs, but do tend to interact with players via Twitter. From my personal experience, official Ingress social media folks are a bit more engaged than Delta T, but Delta T did occasionally respond via Twitter when I asked them questions. Both games are very much fun to play, and both do suffer from their own individual drawbacks. Ingress has been around since 2012, and the network is relatively stable with rarely any experienced downtime. Delta T seems to be pretty good as well, if slower at times, and of course an occasional shutdown for a server update. Both games feature a browser map to provide strategic overlook on the entire world. Map for Ingress is very busy and complicated at first glance. However, once you get to know it, it's actually very intuitive and easy to navigate. Delta T's map, on the other hand, could use some improvement. It is unreliable, sometimes it is very slow, and overall just feels clunky. Additionally, Ingress has some third-party tools that make map experience even better, but legality of those tools in relation to the user agreement is somewhat questionable. My biggest gripe at the moment with Delta T is that there is no notification system. By that I mean you don't get any notifications on your phone when somebody messages you or somebody attacks your structure and so on. Ingress has notification capability and it seems to work pretty well. Well, this is it for a quick summary and comparison of the two games. I realize I skimmed over a lot of details, and please understand that the purpose of this video is not to provide an in-depth guide on how to play this game. It's more of just an overview and a comparison for those who have played one and want to see if the other one is worth their time. So, the last thing I want to mention is that at the time that this video is uploaded, I have 100 subscribers. To me, this is absolutely incredible. Honestly, I didn't even think how that's possible. I thank every single one of you. This is just absolutely unbelievable to me. So please accept my thanks from my cold Russian heart. And well, keep watching. Hopefully I can make more content that people will enjoy. So thank you very much, folks. Well, reporting to you from my secret bunker, this is Comrade Sither. Good luck and have fun.